And that's when I start loving you.
All right, and here comes the horns.
Yeah. A little ghoulish right there. You know what I mean? A little Renee Youngish right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, you ain't right, man.
Hey, COVID did it, man, not me. I'm just doing to her what she did to Dean, man.
What, put it on him?
COVID.
Yeah, like Lil Mo. Lil Mo and Vita.
She about to announce that baby soon.
Don't do it. Wait,
You
she's
know he.
pregnant?
I don't know. I'm just assuming. What else? What else
Oh,
could
okay.
her announcement be? He just been home emptying clips all week.
Her announcement was that she got COVID, bro.
Yeah.
No, she had something else after that. That's not the announcement.
Oh, my bad. Well, Swervy T, you got some news to share with the people? We'll get into that
No, it
later
didn't.
because I don't.
It didn't happen. It didn't happen yet. I think it's just the
Oh,
announcement was. She said a big announcement coming or whatever, but they already knew she had COVID prior to that, so it has to be something else.
oh, okay. All right. All right. Well, before we start breaking news here at the No Pyro Podcast, let me introduce ourselves. This is the No Pyro Podcast, ladies and gentlemen, on a Tuesday evening. Hope your state is not upticking in cases. If it is, wear your mask. Don't be an ass. My name is Total Mac, aka TBD Mac, aka Six Flair, in the building like a bar stool. You know what I mean? Join, of course, is Swervily, aka Two Sub Swerve. How you feeling?
Uh, just frustrated, and all of those things that go with trying to get stuff done at work, and you accomplish nothing at the end of the day.
Here, here. I feel that.
So, yeah. But I'm gonna turn that frown upside down for the sake of the show and remind everyone we are on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes. So obliterate that like button. Jeruski, are you there?
Yeah. No, I'm here. I'm waiting to be introduced.
It looked like Mac has left for a little bit.
Awesome.
So I will introduce you. To our left, we have No Trill Drew. Oops, No Trill Drew. See, that's why I don't do it. No Chill Drew, aka EGB, aka Applebee's Dawn, aka.
Oh
Ooh,
yeah.
that was fresh. I like that one.
In stereo.
Woo.
Apparently Mac had to leave. So it's just impromptu us today.
All right. Well, thanks for that intro, Mac. Drew, take us away with AEW.
All right. Well, let's start off with AEW Dynamite this week. Um, so this is leading up to Fighter Fest. Um, we're gonna start off with a lumberjack match: Luchasaurus versus Wardlow. Wardlow back in action. Um,
How did this go? Because I'm curious, only because I've been hearing about Luchasaurus being injury prone. How is he looking in the ring? If you saw it.
he looks really good. I don't know if this works to his benefit because a lot of his benefit is he's so big he gets guys to just bump around him.
Hmm.
But with Wardlow, obviously, he's going to be the one doing the bumping since he can move a lot better than Wardlow. Um, Basically, it turned into your typical lumberjack match where they end up falling outside, getting beaten up by lumberjacks, and then the lumberjacks start going. at it with each other. Um,
So that's an interesting match type to have during the, the COVID era, because I guess that would take away from the people that you would have in the crowd, no?
no, you still have all the people that would either not be on the show that day or have it coming up. Mind you, they don't have the entire roster out there. It was really just like, 10 people, maybe as lumberjacks.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So you got those 10. Maybe are they taken away from who would have been in the crowd, or you're not just not that way?
Uh, I mean, I'm sure with camera angles, it pulls it off.
Mhm.
Definitely, if it's live, obviously it takes away. But you could
Yeah.
definitely tell from just like camera angles, they make sure to make it look like it's not that bad. But the match ends when the referee gets distracted by all the chaos with the lumberjacks for Wardlow to get a low blow and hit the F10 for the win. So this is going to continue on with the storyline between the Jurassic Express and MJF and Wardlow with their issues. Um, at Fighter Fest, which is their next event, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus are going to be facing MJF and Wardlow. So that was announced after the match. Next match we have is Hikaru Shida in a non-title match against female Ham and Eggs, Red Velvet.
Oh, Red Velvet is a tag team?
No, she is a Ham and Egg wrestler.
No, you said female ham and eggers. Was there two or one? Or one?
Just one. Her name is Red
Oh,
Velvet.
just one. Oh, Red Velvet. Okay.
Uh, while this was going on, number one contender for the title, Penelope Ford, was at ringside. Um,
Wow,
the
I must have
trash
missed a
talk
lot. When did she
was
become
that
number one contender? I said I must have missed a lot. When did she become number one contender?
when the two number two and number three blew out their ACLs.
Oh man.
I mean, when that happens, you kind of have to just pivot to who the fuck's next.
Well, that's how UFC kind of does it. Hey, you want an opportunity for a fight last minute? Sure.
Call Lyoto Machida, see what he's doing.
Oh man.
So the trash talk between Shida and Ford actually lasted longer than this match. Um, but Shida did pick up the win against the Denny's breakfast special. And we're looking at the women's title match coming up at Fighter Fest, so that should be a good event. Once again, another match that is kind of like highlighting what's going to take place at Fighter Fest.
Since you brought up Diddy's breakfast special, I do want to mention I was there recently, and I think that whatever that is, that build your own slam, whatever you call it, I think it went up by like $2.
It went up by $2.
I believe so. Yeah.
COVID tax.
Yeah, we're paying for the people that are not able to come in if we're there.
So,
But
what's that?
yeah, that's it. But anyway, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, we went out to dinner. I think it was this past weekend. Like not even at like a big restaurant. I think it was at like Mississippi Muds or something like down by the lake, and it was like $50 for four people, which it doesn't really seem that bad, but it's like they really only have like burgers and fries and hot dogs, so it's like goddamn.
Well, are they really good burgers? Like better than Burger King and McDonald's?
Oh yeah, no, they're definitely good. I mean, they're definitely not serving a Sonic shit.
Okay, and you left full, right?
Yeah,
Okay, I call it a win. For four people,
four people. Yeah.
I call it a win.
All right. Moving on to the next match, then, or well, not next match, the next part of the show, which is, and here's where I got to say, every time Uwap Jeff tries to defend Cody and say, no, listen, I know you guys, say that he's trying to be Triple H, but, I got to defend him. Cody turns around and does some shit like this. And it's just like, can you really defend him? So,
Are we going to have to start calling him Cody 19?
We might have to. Because here's Cody in a boxing style press conference hyping up his TNT championship match between him and Jake Hager. He had people from Pro Wrestling Illustrated on hand to ask questions. And then, eventually they got into the pull apart, which happens at almost every single boxing press conference. This is for the TNT Championship, once again. This is not for the main title. This is for a title that looks like something that you would get in SmackDown versus Raw if you had no in-game currency, but you still wanted to make a creative title.
And this is for the Fyre Fest event, right? Fighter Fest?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, but Drew, so we all agree, I think, that the title looks trash. But if you are the person who has the responsibility of ushering in this new title, isn't it your responsibility to kind of, make it legit?
But at the same time, a boxing style fucking press conference for this fucking belt.
I mean, I don't know what else you can do besides it's that or contract signings. You don't want to see that in AEW, do you?
It's pretty much a contract signing.
When someone flips the table, you want to see that?
They did. They did flip the fucking table. He threw Catalina. So Jake Hager showed up with his wife, who threw a beer in Cody's face, and that caused the pull apart. And of course, Arn Anderson's there with his Mike Ditka fucking sweater vest.
He does kind of.
And his Andy Reid little laminated playbook. It's pro wrestling, dude. What is on there? What plays are you calling?
He has to get the small, like the too small, like dad hat to be Andy Reid. That's what he needs.
He's got that fucking laminated playbook, like that sheet. It's like, bro, what fucking? It's a pro wrestling match. He's not. All right, second down. Here's what we're gonna run. Why? Why
he's
are
got,
you?
He's got the match called out on there, man. He's got to,
God. So here we have Brody Lee and Colt Cabana, which is an odd fucking team.
So what's the story with this guy? Did he accept or no? Colt Cabana, that is.
He is trying to get him to accept.
Okay, he's still being reluctant.
I'm sure, obviously. I'm sure, obviously, they're going to do something at Fyter Fest. But as of right now, no, they have not done anything like that. But they are going to be taking on the tag team here of Mac's favorite tag team, Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss.
Oh, man. I haven't actually seen these segments in whole or whatever, but I'm aware that they're happening. I'll just put it like that.
Yeah.
Because on YouTube, they just kind of like pop up in the feed. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? So
Brody Lee and Colt Cabana did end up winning the match. However, after the match, Brody Lee kind of almost like, forced it on Colt Cabana to choose what he was going to do. This caused, Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela to get involved with that. They got obliterated by Lance Archer. I don't know if Lance Archer is going to be doing something with them at Fyter Fest. I have match card that I'll be pulling up. Yeah, I do see Lance Archer will be facing Joey Janela. So that's another. Basically, they just use this as a, hey, we're doing, the whole thing with Fyter Fest lead ups during the show. So another thing that they did with that.
Yeah, that sounds very uneventful to me right now, anyway. And mainly because I don't know. I mean, I know those guys were kind of brought in, like the Lance Archers and Brody Lee's, to be like, you would think they were going to be like a big deal. I don't know if it's just not enough time has passed, but right now it doesn't seem like
I think the thing that's really hurt him is that there's no crowd. So
both of
you're
them.
not Lance Archer.
Oh, Lance Archer you're talking about? Okay.
Well, yeah, and Brody Lee. There's really no crowd to really gauge like how much people are really invested in them.
But I think right now they should just do what Vince McMahon is doing and just force things because nobody can say no. I mean, just look right now we have Apollo Crews as champion. So just make Brody Lee, you know what I'm saying? Just put the belt on. Who's going to deny it?
True. The NXT stand-ins are not going to be thrown around a beach ball. But speaking of guys that they brought in, SCU took on FTR. These abbreviations are killing me. But FTR, of course,
IDK. Who those teams are?
so SCU is SoCal Uncensored, Christopher Daniels, and
I was joking.
and then of course FTR is formerly the Revival.
Actually, I didn't know what that one was. I'm glad you told me. I was just going with my own stuff.
They showed up in AW. They are on a night-to-night deal, so they're not actually like locked down in a contract. They are on a night-to-night deal right now.
They still practicing for the club, huh?
Pretty much.
Mm-mm-mm.
But FTR did get the win on SCU, so that happened. Butcher and a Blade did come out then and try to get one up on them. This led Lucha Brothers, Young Bucks, basically all these tag teams to just run out and have like this big melee in the ring.
It seems like they have, to me anyway, and I don't like tune in every week, but it seems like they have enough tag teams there to where SCU can split and Scorpio Sky can kind of go on a singles run.
That's kind of what it looks like they're trying to do, because like with that match, they had Daniels Kazarian, so Scorpio was not in the tag match.
Mm-hmm.
I think they are going to be looking to have Scorpio be in more of a singles role. I mean, he did get a title shot against Chris Jericho when he was champ. So, next match we have Brian Cage takes on
the Meathead.
Yes, the Meathead took on local Hispanic talent John Cruz. And he didn't just beat Cruz; he decimated him. Whooped his ass. Really had a great showing. Taz was on commentary, so you know how that was.
So let me ask you a question about this, because I can't recall off the top of my head right now, not that I'm thinking about this question, but maybe you can. In title match build-ups between two competitors, whatever, is it a good look for whichever opponent to have what you call a squash match so close to the event?
So here's the thing about that. It was not supposed to be that. They were actually supposed to have the same type of thing that Cody and Hager had.
Gotcha.
It was kind of like a face-to-face, but the problem is Renee Young contracted COVID, and obviously with John Moxley living with her, he was quarantined, so he was not at the show for that reason.
So then let me ask this then. I know that Moxley is not the heel in this situation, but could they have done a Moxley via satellite? Or for that particular reason, since he's not the heel, you think that's not a right move?
But here's the problem with that, is if he's quarantined for COVID, if you're doing Moxley via satellite, you have to send somebody with a camera crew to his house, which means you're putting them at risk.
I figured they had some streaming technology they could just do through the phone.
I mean, that's pretty risky to do on a live TV show, a streaming via through Skype, hoping that you don't get any drops or any misconnections. I think, at that point, if they couldn't get it live, they figured, screw it, we'll show off, Cage, because at least that way, the crowd can't, not the crowd, but the audience at home can at least get another good look at him and see that he is a monster. So that way, when he is facing John Moxley, you do know of the danger, and it's not just Taz talking to a screen. Because Taz
So there
is
so there is still doubt that this is going to take place, even though 2 weeks will have passed, right, since when this event happens.
No, there's really no doubt, because really the quarantine only has to happen for 12 days. Fyter Fest is a 2-week event, so it's
Okay.
tomorrow and then it's the next week. So with Moxley's match being the second night, that 12 days will pass, so he'll be good to go.
So that's what I'm saying though. He could have recorded some kind of just response on the phone to be uploaded, maybe. Just have it ready. So when Cage doesn't talk trash and he butts in on the I don't want to say Titantron or whatever, but you get what I'm saying, right? Just something to kind of, other than him going out and beating up on the Hammer, because it's kind of too close to the event for. Like, I get the COVID thing, but I feel like you could have worked around it somehow.
I mean, yeah, you probably could have, with hindsight being 2020. You definitely could have. I don't know how that would sync up, because, I mean, like I said, the show is live. So if you have him pre-record something and you don't sync it up correctly, then it looks like shit. Like if Taz is talking and then all of a sudden Moxley's part just starts talking over him because it's not live. Because, I mean, with that, you can't really.
No, it doesn't even have to be a back and forth. Like, I forgot who the wrestler was, but somebody from WCW was talking to Chucky. Remember that? And it was off.
Rick fucking Steiner.
Yeah, so it doesn't have to be like that. It just could be Moxley being his, cocky self, interrupted him, going, hey. It doesn't matter what Cages or Taz is saying at that particular time. You just kind of interrupt with the video like that, and then they just kind of just listen. You know what I mean? Like, I just figured you could do it that way. Because we've seen that before, and it works. So that's all I was thinking. These are your two biggest guys, so I figured you would just put, at least for, like, as far as title contention is concerned right now. So I figured they would do something like that.
No, and I hear you. Yeah, no, I definitely agree that they could have definitely done something better, especially putting him on there. Because it's probably not a good look that he hasn't been on Dynamite in a few weeks. I don't actually recall the last time that I saw Moxley do really anything meaningful on Dynamite.
Yeah, it's like they're giving him the Roman Reigns treatment right now.
Well, we'll move on to the next match. We have Santana versus Matt Hardy. We are really pulling out the matches today.
What version did we get of Matt Hardy?
We had a one-on-one match against Broken Matt Hardy. So we did not get, any of the, old school Hardys. We got Broken Matt Hardy.
I think at some point they should just have a wheel when you fight Matt Hardy and just spin it to see which one you're going to get.
Just spin it. You get plaid Matt Hardy from 1995. You get the drunk Matt Hardy sitting in a Denny's parking lot trying to trash talk CM Punk on MySpace. That's the Matt Hardy you get today. But Matt Hardy did get the win on Santana, so, press F for respects.
What the hell, man? He's not there to build talent? Come on. Why is he beating Santana?
He pretty much no-sold everything. It was bad. It was not great. Lastly, the last thing that happened was a face-off. Not a match, face-off. Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy. So
this is arguably bigger than the title match. I just want to say that.
I mean, they put it on last for a reason.
Well, I don't know if it's because of situations or they really just was going to be last anyway. But in my eyes, this is the bigger thing.
So Chris Jericho basically equated Orange Cassidy to a chicken crossing the road joke. Um, he talked about asking Cody, Kenny Omega, Young Bucks, and even Tony Khan why they even hired Orange Cassidy. He said people like Orange Cassidy because they're lazy and slackers, and they like people just like themselves. He warned Cassidy that he tries that shin kick offense, he's going to knock him out and beat him in 3 seconds. And he also said that Orange Cassidy would run out of juice. Orange Cassidy then teased like he was about to say something, and then just started kicking Jericho's shins, almost like, okay, show him what you could do. He turned his back then on Jericho. Jericho then took off his sunglasses and broke them in pieces. So he took off Orange Cassidy's sunglasses and broke them to pieces. They broke out into a fight. It spilled all over the arena. They were actually, it was actually a pretty good brawl until Jericho blasted him with the friggin' camera. This actually caused Orange Cassidy to bleed.
Oh,
But despite all of it, the night ended with Orange Cassidy putting Jericho through a table. So it was probably the hottest fucking thing that they closed the Dynamite on. Yeah, when you said that this is going to be the biggest match at Fyter Fest, you're fucking not lying. That's gonna be the best match at Fyter Fest.
now is there going to be some kind of crowd here or something?
Let me see what we have going
Because
on.
that would suck if it isn't.
I know,
I
right?
I would hold that one off, honestly. I wouldn't even do it.
So that's going to be on July 8th, which is next week. So it might have some people in the crowd. Here's the problem, though. The big problem. They might have been able to have a crowd, but then Florida went and got more COVID cases.
Oh, they most certainly did.
Yeah, so now there's not going to be a crowd there, except for the wrestlers, which really sucks because that match looks fucking hype.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it will deliver, but you just need those some matches. You just need that endless roar
Yeah.
that only the crowd can provide. And it
So,
sucks that it won't have it. But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
well, I'm sorry. I was going to break down the actual match cards for Fyter Fest.
Okay.
So, night one is going to be Private Party versus Santana and Ortiz. MJF and Wardlow versus Jurassic Express. Hikaru Shida defending.
Well, you know what? Since this is coming up, and I know you're running through them, but let's kind of predict the wins really quick.
Oh yeah, you know what? I can't believe that I forgot about that. Yeah, let's predict that. So Private Party versus Santana and Ortiz.
I am gonna go with Santana and Ortiz for this one.
I'm gonna agree just because of the fact that we really didn't see Private Party on Dynamite, so it's just like they're just there kind of.
Mm-hmm.
MJF and Wardlow versus Jurassic Express.
I'm thinking that Jurassic Express takes this, but MJF does not take a pin.
I don't think that he's lost at all. Yeah, I think that Jurassic Express will win this. I can see Jungle Boy pinning Wardlow just because, but yeah, I agree. Hikaru Shida defending her women's title against Penelope Ford.
I think that's an easy one.
Yeah, Shida.
Yeah. This is a test run for Penelope to see if you can can we see you in that light?
On top?
Yeah.
Yeah. AEW Women World Tag Titles, Kenny Omega and Hangman Page defending against Best Friends.
This is tough because they had a 45-minute match before, and I don't want to see them go that long again. But I don't think that they're going to beat them twice, so I'm going to sway in because you got to have a title change, I'm going to sway in the direction of best friends.
Really?
Yes.
See, I was thinking Kenny Omega and Hangman Page are going to retain on this one.
Think about your other title matches for AEW and just shooting, just kind of shooting ahead. I don't really see them changing. But this one, I think, is a safe one to change.
When you say that, I have a different opinion of a title that's going to change.
Okay. I think I know what it is, but all right.
And then the main event for night one, TNT Championship, Cody defending against Jake Hager.
Mm-hmm. You give it to Jake?
I am.
Wow. I don't think he's shown me that he's ready for the title yet. So I say this stays around Cody's waist.
Night two, which is on July 8th, we have SCU, all three members, taking on Brody Lee, Stu Grayson, and Cole Cabana.
Some part of me wants to give it to the Dark Order. Yeah, I think it's safe to give it to the Dark Order. I don't know who's going to get the win and that kind of thing. I mean, I can't give you a guess on that one, but I'm going to say Dark Order.
I'm also going to say Dark Order, and I'm going to say Cole Cabana finally joins them.
See, if that's the angle, that's the thing that bothers me about that. If that's the angle, he could screw him over too.
Yeah.
But if it's not like a big deal if he joins, which I don't think it is, then I don't see that happening. You know what I mean? Like when, I don't know, Scott Steiner turned on the Steiner brothers. Like, it's not something like that. It's just Cole Cabana.
That is true. I just I don't see what the point of him screwing them over would be, since he's not part of the group. It's kind of like a will he, won't he. So I think it would be more impactful if he joined them rather than just been you know what, I'm going to lose this match.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I don't see the point of it doing either. I'm picking the Dark Order, but I just don't. I just don't know how it'll play.
Because I mean, they kind of attract people like Cole Cabana, the people who are like hapless and really not winning matches, just kind of like in the lower end of the card, and he probably feels like he might be a bigger star because he was well known on the independent scene. Maybe that could be his inspiration for joining the Dark Order.
Yeah, become a number, sure. He'll fall in line behind the ball guy who doesn't get any mic time.
That would be Stu Grayson. He's on his team. Lance Archer taking on Joey Janela.
I think this is an easy one, Lance Archer.
Yeah, that's a squash of the night. FTR and the Young Bucks taking on the Butcher, the Blade, and the Lucha Brothers.
FTR and the Young Bucks taking on the Butcher and the Blade and the Lucha Brothers.
It's going to be an eight-man tag match.
No, I was just thinking in my head, like, who needs a win, and I'm sure it's the Lucha Brothers and the Butcher and the Blade, and I feel like it's going to be a very competitive match, but I think that FTR is, while they're on this night-to-night contract or whatever you call it, in case they do want to keep them, they want to keep them hot, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pick FTR and the other team. I can't think of it right now.
Young Bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, just because the Butcher and the Blade, they do not fucking win matches. They cannot win matches to save their lives. They are from Buffalo, and it shows. Next match that we had was Orange Cassidy against Chris Jericho.
like Orange needs to win this. He really does. He needs to win. I don't know if he's had like a singles one-on-one win or a big win or anything. I think in most of his matches were like tags and stuff like that, right? Where he wasn't
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
There's a way that you can have him. He can get a surprise roll up, and Jericho not look bad.
Oh, the most devastating move in pro wrestling, Schoolboy.
Absolutely, that can happen. Like this thing, because I don't know what happened to the. Like I said, I haven't been watching, so I don't know what happened to the Jericho and Tyson angle, or if that's flat, that's done or whatever. But if this is the kind of like, distract you until that's ready, this could be a two program uh situation, and it can't be two program if Orange Cassidy doesn't win somehow.
That's true.
Jericho has a very great win-loss record, and one little notch on the right hand side wouldn't kill him, especially if it's just a roll up. I'm not saying he gets a devastating, but Orange Cassidy's not going to do it like that. So I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say he wins by surprise roll up.
All right. I too am in the Orange Cassidy needs a win camp. So I'm going to go with Orange Cassidy, just hoping that he can get that win.
I think it's the right thing to do. I just do. Like sometimes it's just matches where you like, you know what, this is the right move. You just got to do it right. I'm not saying he bludgeoned him with a sledgehammer. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just you can get it done. They've shown it before.
And then the last match that we have is Jon Moxley defending against Brian Cage for the AEW World Title.
The meathead is not going to win this. I don't know how he's going to lose, but he's not going to win. So I'm picking Moxley.
I agree. I think that this will be close, definitely close. But yeah, Moxley's going to pull out the win.
I'm interested in to see how I don't know if Moxley has a submission in his arsenal, but I'm guessing something like that or a turnbuckle or something has to knock this guy out and keep him out.
Yeah, I mean it might even be disqualification. Who knows? It might even be something where a Brody Lee or somebody else who maybe is upset that they lost their match against them shows up and it causes that kind of a finish.
Well, if this is the last one on the card of night 2, I don't think you end in DQ.
I mean, you can. I mean, who's gonna, like you said, be like Vince McMahon? Just who's gonna bitch?
Well, no one's gonna do it there, but
Ain't nobody gonna be chanting refund. But fun fact is Chris Jericho will actually be commentating all of night 1.
Really?
So a lot of people enjoyed his commentary. I'm one of them. So it's gonna be exciting to hear him do commentary for all of night 1. I'm sure he'll be getting in jabs of Orange Cassidy all night.
That's actually a really good idea because it'll just help build for a second night.
All of it's going to be on TNT too, so it's not pay-per-view.
Yeah, Orange Cassidy needs that win if it's on TNT. All right, what do we got next? Was that it for Firefest?
That's it for AEW.
Okay. I didn't see SmackDown, but I do have the program up for June 26th.
Boy.
And it looks like they opened up with Tribute to The Undertaker.
Yep.
As if you didn't have 50 parts already on the No Network. Talking about the Boneyard match, and all of those different things. Now, my question is, this is all great, but you know how people say you're only as good as your last match?
Yeah.
So all of these packages, if I'm ranking, because I can't think of a bunch of them in my head, I only have two in my head right now. But if I got to rank retirements, Undertaker's is at the bottom of the list. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll agree. And it kind of sucks that it wasn't in front of an audience. I have a feeling that he might come back for like one more match just to do it in front of an audience.
Yeah, I mean, and if he feels like that, which I've always said he should go out the way he came in Survivor Series, um, this shouldn't be airing right now, or whatever. But right now, Kurt Angle has him one up, and he fought Baron Corbin in his last match.
Oof. Big oof.
That's all I want to say about that. Um, Alexa Bliss versus Dana Brooke versus Nikki Cross versus Lacey Evans.
And I believe that this was for number one contendership.
Yeah, and I'm looking for to see who won.
Nikki Cross. She rolled up.
Wow.
So what's her face? Lacey Evans hit the women's right, but Cross rolled her up and got the pin.
You know what? It's about time because Cross has been she's been eating a lot of pins lately. So nice to see her get a pin on someone else. The New Day and Lucha House Party versus Cesaro, Nakamura, Miz, and Morrison. Now Cesaro and Nakamura are two guys I honestly forgot about. Actually, you know what? Let's throw Lucha House Party in there too. I forgot about them as well. And who pulled this one out here?
Let's see. Yeah, all four of these guys are just something. Let's see.
Doesn't clearly say
the Luchadors won. So Lucha House Party ended up getting the win with New Day.
You know what? I don't even know why I questioned that. I forgot about the New Day was being on their side. So yeah, of course they were going to win. Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin's still around versus Jeff Hardy. Didn't see this, but I'm sure this was a sleeper.
It's a riveting match. Jeff Hardy got the win after a swanton.
Yeah, I guess Baron Corbin will continue his losing ways. Was that all?
I believe that's all they had for SmackDown.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, that's all they had for SmackDown. It was a very.
Right.
I mean, most of SmackDown was devoted to the Undertaker.
Okay. I was gonna say I gotta breeze through these matches really quickly, but I'm not seeing any. That doesn't seem like 2 hours worth of stuff, but I guess it was. So Undertaker had what, an hour of a 2-hour show?
Pretty much. I think when they say they revisited the Boneyard match, I think that they showed the Boneyard match again.
Okay, that would make sense. So they back on that BS where they're just gonna start throwing matches in between, just sneaking them in, and you didn't know what the hell's going on. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that, but I guess you got to do what you got to do when you run it out of talent because everybody's getting sick.
Ain't that the truth?
All right, what's next up? SmackDown wasn't really anything to talk about there.
We either have Raw or Dirt.
What do we have? Raw, right?
That or Dirt.
Drew?
Yeah, that or Dirt.
Oh, you know what? I thought I lost you for a second. I heard like a little beep. So, all right. So I will. Let me get that queued up for you so you can go to dirt.
Okay.
All right. Where are we here?
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
All right. So something that I put on our Twitter page last week, or not last week, a few days ago. Impact Wrestling has stripped Tessa Blanchard, the first woman to win their world title, of the world championship, and have fired her.
Yes, and I wanted to talk about this because they didn't fire her for the right reasons.
Well, so they said they fired her. It's kind of one of those things where like you quit, and they're like, "You can't quit. You're fired." Her contract was running out in like 5 days.
Right. It's not because any of the things she said are done. Just a
No,
damn contract.
yeah,
So
it's
whoop de
not
do.
because of anything like that. Yeah, it's realistically, yeah, it's just you know they wanted her to cut a promo while she was on vacation in Mexico, and they were kind of like working with her to see how are we gonna drop this belt before you leave, and she really wasn't okay with any of their suggestions and refused to cut the promo, so they kind of fired her just for not cooperating. But yeah, like you said, I mean, she had a lot of allegations against her that they were perfectly fine with, and this is the reason they fired her. So now we're on to where she goes next.
They just ruined it for all the other women at TNA because if that doesn't further sour the legitimacy of that title belt, who do you put it on after that?
Yeah, because I mean, there's not gonna. I honestly, I cannot. I cannot imagine they put it on another woman just because of the fact that the last one did not work out. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as where she goes, insiders at AEW say that Tony Khan has no interest because of the comments, because of the allegations that were against her while she was working in the Indies and in Japan.
Yeah.
They just don't want to touch her. But there is a lot of interest from Big Vinny and his House of Make Believe.
Because that's how he gets down.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
He heard those allegations and went, I mean, I don't see any problems. I mean, that just sounds like a Friday night for me.
She could get in the Hall of Fame the same night. Play her cards
Hey,
right.
is that right, Kunta Kinte? My name's Kofi Kingston. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, so there's a lot of interest from WWE. This would definitely give them the storyline that they wanted with Tully Blanchard's daughter and Ric Flair's daughter facing off. She was in WWE previously in NXT, but as an enhancement talent. So she was actually the ham and eggs down in NXT before she became big in Impact. Last week, during, I believe it was either a SmackDown taping or one of their pay-per-views, they got a COVID scare where 24 employees tested positive for COVID. Once again, 24 employees at a company where Kevin Dunn went on record saying if fans show up wearing a mask, they are not real fans.
Was this because was it JB Noble that worked with all of them or something like that? Was that the reason? Or no?
We
They
don't
don't
know what it's literally it's a mishmash of different people. So it's said to be everywhere from talent to cameraman to wardrobe people. So it's all over the company. People who are infected.
Mm-hmm.
But one of them, of course, was Renee Young, who got another bit of bad news besides her COVID, and that is that WWE Backstage, her show, got the axe.
I mean, come on. I'm surprised it lasted this long. Wasn't nobody staying up till what 11:20 or whatever it came on to watch that?
I don't know why
I mean,
they did it so late. I mean, you have your own network. put it out wherever you want. Like,
Yeah, that must have been a Fox thing. That must have been like an obligation because I just can't see them being that stupid
you know
purposely
what
to
else is
want
a
it.
Fox thing?
What's
Canceling
that?
shit real fucking fast.
Oh yeah, they're never going to change that. That's why I'm just waiting for SmackDown to be gone and move back to UPN or somewhere.
Um, so last week we also mentioned all the allegations of sexual assault. Well, we got a new name to the list.
Allegations will arise. No, go ahead.
It is Brock Lesnar.
The next big allegation. Oh, let's go.
Yeah. Who had former WWE backstage personality Terry Runnels, ex-wife of Goldust, say in an allegation that Brock was infamous for flashing her backstage. Once again, you know, we're not going to sit here and say, well, it obviously must be true. Because at the same time, this woman fucked Goldust, so, who knows? She also fucked New Jack. So we don't know
Really?
what this woman's saying. Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
So
Well, like I said in the chat, she flashed the entire audience of Shotgun Saturday Night.
she
Right?
did.
There were children there. I mean, where's the allegations then?
Yeah, I mean that should put you on the list. Did you know
But
of any other
no,
allegations?
because boobies are good and dinglings are bad.
Well, I mean, I'm
That's
not
what we're taught. Well, of course, Drew. Because you're part of the problem.
I am. I am. I'm nothing but a cis peg, I guess. Did you know of any other allegations besides Brock?
Well, no, I think we brought up you brought up the main event one last week, which was RJ. So yeah, I didn't hear about any others. I saw that there was a apology video, but I didn't watch it from Sammy Guevara on YouTube.
Yes,
But did you happen to see it? I didn't.
I did. And again, Sammy did reach out to Sasha Banks. They spoke. So it's not something where he's just like, he's not pulling a Marty Skrull here, where his apology is basically, hey, who knows if she was 15? Like, fuck, dude. It was definitely more of, you could definitely tell he was like, listen, I was like 20 and I fucked up and I'm sorry. And, he was definitely somebody he was definitely pretty scared that his career could be over at 24. However, a fan did ask Cody Rhodes on social media what's going to happen with Sammy, flat out. They said that he's going into counseling and then they'll review him after that. But Cody has stated Sammy will be back at AEW, a better person and a better wrestler. So he's confirmed pretty much, as long as Sammy doesn't do anything else stupid, once this all blows over, he's back.
You know what's different about these things versus like other things that you go to, like, anything that you can actually go to jail for? This puts you on a lifetime probation.
Yeah. It also ruins your image too. Because a lot of these wrestlers make a lot of money off merch, off the fans buying your stuff, your t-shirts, all that stuff. Man, if you get accused of that, nobody's going to be wanting to walk around with a Joey Ryan t-shirt or a Sammy Guevara t-shirt anymore. This hurts your pocket. This hurts your reputation. This hurts a lot of shit. it might not be necessarily a crime to go on a podcast and say that, but man, will it fuck him up in his business life? And speaking of fucking up businesses, the indie promotion Shikara, which has been around since I believe 2003, completely shut down because of allegations of abuse from up top in the company.
Oh yeah, well there was just so much, and like you said, it was up top. I mean, you just kind of have to just chop off the head at that point.
So I mean, it's crazy how much of this goes on in pro wrestling, but at the same time, we're talking about a sport, and I do put sport in quotation marks, a sport where a bunch of 20 to 30-year-olds oil their bodies up and roll in a ring half naked. I mean, you got
romance is gonna bud.
Not only that, but you also got to realize that some of them are not going to be the most upstanding citizens, and some of them are going to have some sexual deviance.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it seems like a lot of them like the 15-year-olds. So if you're a 15-year-old girl, you're in your peak right now if you're trying to hook up with a pro wrestler.
And I don't understand because I know when you want to get into wrestling, you can start at a young age and all that kind of stuff. But why aren't there just like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but why aren't there just like separate, age levels?
Well,
because it sounds like the 15-year-olds and stuff like that can work with the 20-year-olds or the 30-year-olds or whatever. I mean, I understand from like the people you need to get experience from but as far as your peers, like I feel like everybody should kind of be in the same group,
Well, so the crazy thing is the girl that's accusing Marty Skrull was actually one of his students at his school. So he was training this girl to wrestle. So he knew her age. The legal age in England, by the way, is 16.
He just had to go one step lower.
But also, she was saying that she was also drunk. So, that
is the legal age in that country for everything, or just
pretty
not
much
getting locked up?
I mean, in England, I don't think that if they do have a drinking age, it's definitely not that high. But yeah, I mean, it's just as far as training people, a lot of it is kind of broken into that way, where you can learn to be a wrestler starting, let's say, 15 years old, but you're not working matches with adults yet. You are learning to be a wrestler. Usually they don't let you actually get in the ring until you're like 16. Now, of course, there are, differences where, like, let's say you're Paige and you've been learning to be a wrestler since you were like fucking 13. When you're 15, you're traveling the country because you are a vet. You've been training for years. Your family runs a promotion, so you know a lot of the bookers there. So, she was traveling because she was kind of their peer. But for the most part, you're not going to see a lot of 15-year-olds on the road. You're going to see them just at the school.
You didn't even hear about like The Rock's daughter until she was 18. You know what I mean? Like, I just think that I think is another country and stuff like that you're talking about, but I just feel like you got to be some kind of guidelines, otherwise.
Well, I think that was The Rock. That was probably The Rock saying, there's no way this is happening until you fucking graduate at least college. Like,
I mean, it's nothing stopping you from like, I mean, if we're going to use The Rock as an example, I mean, I know I brought him up, but it's someone who has who wants to be a wrestler, a background of that kind of background, they may know somebody where they can kind of just do some training, away from the actual, I don't know, let's just say performance center, until it's time to be around other people for those years or whatever, getting your, learning things you can learn, I guess, on your own or somewhere else before you go. And that's what I think he did. He probably has his own ring and that kind of thing, but not saying every family does. But it must be something you can kind of do to just
Well, there's plenty of
limit some.
wrestling schools out there besides the Performance Center. There's plenty of wrestling schools out there, and he just happened to run one in England. But yeah, no, there's plenty of places. Like I think the Dudley Boys have their own wrestling school. Booker T has his own. Lance Storm had one, but yeah, a lot of wrestling schools are out there where they have people who are 15 who are still in high school who are trained to be a pro wrestler because they want to start earlier. And you know it is what it is. Wrestling is it as much as it's evolved, it's still the same carny atmosphere at its core. It's still, you got anywhere from 15-year-olds, 60-year-olds on the same card. So, it's crazy, especially in the indies. Like, you'll go to an indie show and see some fucking, 17-year-old kid on the first match of the card, and the next match, the Rock and Roll Express show up. Like, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah. It's just, yeah, it's weird. I mean, because you could just use any one of us at our positions at the companies we work at, and I could count on one finger how many times I've hung out with the CEO. So, you know what I mean? Uh, but yeah, I guess wrestling is different. But
Oh, wrestling. I mean, you look at like AEW after every pay per view. Tony Khan's right there at their after party. WWE, every wrestler is expected to have a relationship with Vince McMahon. So I mean, yeah, wrestling is totally different. Where it is not an open door, but you know who you're working for. Now, how much you know them, besides just like the lip service, you might be getting lip service one way, and then the next way they're screwing you over. That might happen, but it is definitely more open because it. Aside from WWE, most wrestling promotions don't have all those layers of president, CEO, manager, general manager, mid-level manager, supervisor. It's not like that. It's literally guy who's booking the show, agents, wrestlers. Like that. That's literally how it is.
yeah, and WWE make up titles every week, so.
Next bit of news that we have is this week's NXT, which will be airing tomorrow as we're recording, so July 1st, will be dubbed the Great American Bash.
When I heard that, I was kind of confused about that. I said, wait a minute, is this a pay-per-view, or are they just throwing this name out there because it has some familiarity? And that's what they're doing.
Throwing it out because it has familiarity. They own the license, which I'm sure bugs the fuck out of Cody Rhodes since it's another idea of his father's.
And they're waiting till now to do that, huh?
Well, you figure with COVID, I mean, you can have any show just be a random super show. Hey, NXT this week, we're having it in your house. Come watch, please. It's going to be a super show. They can really do that now because it's all in the same building. You could just do it and try to grab ratings.
Yeah.
Kind of like Fyter Fest.
Listen, I draw the line at Halloween Havoc. I let it slide for Starrcade, Great American Bash. But if they try to pull a Halloween Havoc off, I might have to.
The grudge match: Rick Steiner versus Chuggy. Here's one that Mac would have wished that he was in on. Have you heard of the rapper Tyga?
I have.
Okay. So he is. Do you remember Hulk Hogan and his language that he used?
I do.
Okay. Well, Tyga has decided to Let's say try to get back at that a little bit by jumping in his
Hogan?
jumping in his son's girlfriend's DMs. Nick Hogan. Yeah, Nick Hogan is currently dating a porn star. Porn star's name is Tana Leah.
Hold
and
up,
Tyga.
Let me get my Googles up. Hold up.
Oh, get your Googles up. That's TANALEA.
Tana Leah. You know what? I'm getting Tana leaves. Not really getting her, but all right.
Tana is the first name of
it. Oh, I got it. Never mind. Go ahead. Continue.
So, Tyga has hopped in her DMs. Nick Hogan apparently threw a temper tantrum on Instagram about it, which led Tyga, flashback from WrestleMania 5, to just give the lustful eyes emoji at him.
So I'm looking at Tana, and I guess Tyga really just did this just to be spiteful.
I mean, maybe he's trying to hit it.
I'm just gonna guess.
Yeah. So if you're Nick Hogan, you got to worry about Tyga getting in your girlfriend's DMs. I was under the impression that Tyga was a Nitro girl. I was mistaken.
No, wait. There was wasn't there a Tiger?
There was. This one's not it.
Yeah, I know, but there was a Tiger, though, right? I do recall. Yeah. Okay.
Two more bits. Gallows and Anderson have are close to signing a deal with Impact Wrestling. And Baron Corbin has openly vented frustration about having to work a feud with Matt Riddle.
Wait, what?
He is not a big fan of Matt Riddle, not a big fan of his attitude. Doesn't really want to work an angle with them, especially when he's on the losing end of it, and has openly vented frustration about it.
And that's been a thing that people have brought up before.
Yeah.
About Matt Riddle's personality, right?
Yeah, he can definitely be abrasive, and you either love him or you hate him. And unfortunately, Matt Riddle does not love him.
Well, it'll be interesting to see who they choose in that one.
Did you want to move on to Raw?
Yeah, I did. I thought I had something pulled up, but I lost it when I tried to look for Tana Leah. That was not worth the time.
So we have, starting off Raw, contract signings. Not one, but two.
Oh, yeah.
First one is Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre.
Are we agreeing that Dolph Ziggler is a fill-in? Or is this supposed to happen?
Well, this was, if you remember, they were a tag team back in the day.
Oh, I haven't forgot about that.
And that's kind of what they're alluding to. But yeah, I definitely feel like this is, have our rosters not here, we're doing what we can.
Dolph Ziggler has made a career off being the fill-in guy.
Yeah. He's definitely the guy that you call when everyone else is on, leave. Because Kevin Owens... What's that?
I was going to say, he's did it in everybody's feud.
Yeah.
And each time I said, how the hell did he get a title shot? And I still don't have an answer.
Guys like Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, they are all refusing to work because of COVID.
Yeah.
So this turned into just like a brawl. Ziggler called McIntyre ungrateful. They signed their contract. McIntyre allowed Ziggler to choose a stipulation for the match.
And that's another beef I have. This definitely don't deserve no contract signing.
Yeah.
Like what?
This was a time killer.
Oh, go ahead.
before he can actually choose. Asuka interrupted, and everyone started brawling once Sasha Banks signed her contract.
Sasha has, I think, another match on that other pay-per-view you mentioned, I want to say.
I
Who
think
was the
she's
NXT champion?
challenging for the NXT Championship against Io Shirai.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. Like, why is that happening? One of these
Ratings.
belts she has to win because she can't
She's
lose
not
two of
beating
them.
Io Shirai. Maybe she's just trying to fight every Japanese person she can find.
I think they really want to make Bailey and Sasha like a two-woman power trip. I really do. I don't know
Team
whose
Gods.
belt she's gonna take, but somebody's someone's gonna lose their belt. I don't know who. This other one from NXT just kind of came out of nowhere to me, so that kind of throws me a little bit. I know that when you get to it later during Raw, but yeah, go ahead.
So the Big Show's back and calls out Randy Orton.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna Google the Big Show's age. I just gotta know how much time he got left.
So to start off with, cameras catching Angel Garza trying to seduce.
48.
He's 48.
48. Yep.
Not younger than I thought.
But
So
he's also pretty large, so
yeah,
that adds some years onto you when you're 7'2", over 500 pounds.
Angel Garza was trying to seduce female referee Jessica Carr for their match. Charlie Caruso questioned the group's strategy before the Big Show interrupted and demanded to take their spot next to call out Randy Orton. Andrade and Garza got involved in the segment, starting to surround him. Ric Flair encouraged him to do some damage to the world's largest athlete. I don't know what the fuck Ric Flair was doing there. While telling Big Show that the Viper was staying in the back for now. Viking Raiders ran down to make the save. Zelina Vega's team continued to argue with each other. El Idolo.
Ric Flair is messing it up for everybody else. I just want to tell you that. Because he's 70 and still willing to risk his life. He's making people like Roman look bad. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. Well, Ric Flair's out here for this paycheck. Man, he has ex-wives to feed.
Yeah.
El Idolo almost walked off, but the manager convinced them to keep fighting together. Their teamwork improved as Ivar was taken out of the match. Andrade hit him with the back elbow, and Garza got the win in the match that still happened. Craziness.
Wow.
Now that's some. I just read the description for this next one, and okay, so 24/7 champion Akira Tozawa took on R-Truth. Akira Tozawa standing with a trio of ninjas. 20 as prepares for the arrival of R-Truth. The match did not last long, thank God, before the challenger managed to convince the champion to stop for a moment. It gave Truth enough of an opportunity to roll up Tozawa for the 3 count. Afterwards, he ducked the fucking ninjas and ran off with his title in hand. Ninjas for a Japanese wrestler in 2020.
Yep. I don't want to grow up because if I did, I wouldn't be a Toys R Us kid.
I can't fucking wait for Tessa Blanchard to show up because obviously they don't give a fuck about what she said. Racist undertones? Fuck, we got Japanese ninjas.
Yep. Some
Speaking
stuff is just hard coded into your DNA, you know?
Yeah. Speaking of DNA, Rey Mysterio and Dominic were at ringside
Yeah.
for Seth Rollins and Murphy to take on Aleister Black and Humberto Carrillo.
What happened to Aleister Black?
Who fucking knows?
He was on a path to success, and boom, teamed up with Humberto Carrillo.
The man is like a roller coaster. He's up, he's down. He's up, he's down. But Seth Rollins requested forgiveness from Rey Mysterio for the horrible things he would do to him. Mysterio interrupted from a live feed at home.
See?
Yes.
See what I'm saying? Moxley could have did this.
Did you want them to do it like this? And he asked Dominic's forgiveness for what he would do to Seth Rollins. Dominic forgave him and promised Rollins would pay. Okay. Aleister Black and Humberto Carrillo came out to run off Rollins and Murphy. He questioned why these two fought for Mysterio. Rollins called Rey Mysterio a coward, which set off both faces. Aleister Black called Rollins evil. They ended up getting into a match, which was not long. Rollins and Murphy ended up beating Aleister Black and Carrillo by pinfall.
Isn't that funny? The guy who looks like, he was from Hellraiser calling somebody else evil.
Next match, the Iconics made fun of Ruby Riott, who was trying to get a hold of Liv Morgan. Riott challenged Peyton Royce or Billie Kay to a fight tonight. Lana found Riott before a match, telling her to start listening to Natalia. I feel like the women's division on Raw is just a high school drama.
It's just an episode of Total Divas.
Yeah. But
Shout
Ruby
out
Riott,
to Total Mac.
oof, he's probably watching right now. Had to catch up. Peyton Royce was the one who would take on Ruby Riott and whoop that ass. So Peyton Royce got the win on Ruby Riott, who's just doing her fucking best, I guess. Next match we have Big Show versus Andrade with Angel Garza. Awful fucking match. Big
Wait,
Show.
so whose fault was it?
All. So, match starts off with Big Show chucking both guys around like they're bitches. Angel Garza managed to do some damage to the left of Big Show's knee, only for El Idolo to force his way into the match. Angel Garza walked out on him, causing Andrade to take on El Idolo, causing Andrade to take a choke slam and a loss.
Is there turmoil within the camp?
There is. All night, apparently. And Andrade lost to a 49-year-old man.
Oh, my God.
Who looks like an uncircumcised penis. Apollo Crews versus MVP / Bobby Lashley versus Ricochet. Good. Bobby Lashley asked MVP why he was still trying to recruit Apollo Crews. His manager said that he was done playing nice with the U.S. champ. He just needed him to learn an important lesson. MVP continued his rant about respect in the ring until Crews interrupted. He told MVP that he did not want a manager. MVP warned that he was worse off having MVP as an enemy. Lashley made sure to help MVP steal a win. This was not entitled, by the way.
Well, of course.
Afterwards, Crews attacked MVP out of frustration. Very babyface thing to do. But Lashley locked him into a full Nelson. Ricochet and Cedric Alexander made the save. This set up Bobby Lashley versus Ricochet. Lashley dominated most of the match, but Ricochet fired back into a springboard moonsault, nearly sealed the win. Bobby Lashley kicked out. He caught a sidekick, turning into a high choke slam, and then a full Nelson for a quick submission. Alexander saved Ricochet after the bell, but he was trapped in a full Nelson for his trouble.
Wow, they're really selling that full Nelson.
Yeah.
Gotta applaud Apollo Crews for one thing. He attacked somebody out of frustration. I've never seen that.
Yeah. He's finally done just being happy to be here.
And I don't know what type of stuff MVP is on, where if you don't want me as a manager, then you have to fight me. But I guess it's working.
Last match, main event. Mixed tag match action. Drew McIntyre and Asuka versus Sasha Banks and Dolph Ziggler. This was a pretty clean win. Banks and Ziggler gets the win.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm surprised this match happened because earlier, I want to say that Sasha Banks and them clowned Ziggler, which I thought was great, by the way.
Yeah, but we had to get the heels in a tag match.
Yeah, I know. I knew they're still going to force it somehow, but I just thought that was great because I hate that just because I'm a heel, we have to heel together. And it's not always the case.
We still have the tag together. We just don't have to heel together. Did you have anything else for this week?
No, nothing from Avi. Nothing of the sort.
Let me check the email just to make sure that we didn't get anything from Avi.
He normally would have, announced or let me know, but I didn't get any. He didn't say, so unless he snuck something in there.
Yeah, I don't have anything. Okay. So it looks like that is all that we have.
You know what, Drew? You know what we didn't do?
What's that?
We never even told the people what number of episode this was.
Oh, fuck. We are bad at this. This is 102.
Well, there you are, folks. Welcome to episode 102 of the No Pyro podcast. And we're
Grand
out.
opening, grand closing.
Well,
All
yeah.
right, well,
We can wrap this up. I don't have anything else. Like we said in the beginning, Mac had to leave, so we will catch up with him at a later time. But everyone else, please remember to subscribe to our SoundCloud, our YouTube, and iTunes, on all of those platforms there, please. And thank you.
and this is No Chill Drew with Swervy Lee. Total Mac, of course, was here for half a cup of coffee and then took off. So this is the No Pyro podcast, and thank you for listening. We're out.